Yo guys, what is going on, and welcome back to another episode of the FM Reboot. It's episode number 6, and today we've got the FA Cup quarter-final against Stoke. Great chance to reach Wembley, and in a massive game away against the Toffees in the race for a Europa League place. Before we get to the games though, shall Wolves be getting on off camera? So of course in the last episode we had the 4-2 thrilling defeat away against the Magpies, then the even more thrilling 1-1 penalty shootout victory over Leicester in the FA Cup 5th round. 5 games in or on camera, all in the Premier League, and as you can see, pretty inconsistent like we have been for the majority of this season. Starting off 1-1 draw at home to the Blades, Raul Jimenez gave us the lead in this game. Finally got his feet sorted this year before Billy Sharp scored against me once again, levelling for the Blades right before the break. And after that 2-1 loss in North London against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium, Gabriel Martinelli banging a brace for the Gunners in this one. The first one, heading in this cross, the way the ball looped up in the air from the header was crazy, man. And he scored his second just after the restart, whilst Jimenez did get his second in 2. It was just a consolation in a 2-1 loss. Following that, though, 2-1 win away at Turf Moor against Burnley. Adama Traore heading in and Nelson Semedo cross giving us the lead right before the break. Dwight McNeil got Burnley back on level terms 5 minutes after the restart, but 4 minutes to go. Raul Jimenez, once again, third in as many games, scores the game winner and gives us a big 3 points. And following that 2-1 home victory against Spurs, we've beaten them back-to-back this year. Really pleasing to see. Connor Cody scoring our first 3 minutes after the restart, heading in a free kick, making it 1-0. I think it's his first goal of the season before Pedro Neto made it 2-0. Aurier did grab a consolation goal for Spurs. That's all it proved to be, and a big victory there. And after that very credible fight-back point away at Old Trafford against Manchester United, we were 2-0 down in the first half. Marcus Rashford scoring from the spot 11 minutes in, and then 5 minutes before the break getting his second goal of the game as they were 2-0 up at half-time. But in the second half, didn't throw in a towel, didn't give up. Ruben Neves converts from the spot to make it 2-1. And 20 minutes to go, Daniel Podence comes off the bench and scores a bit of a scrappy goal to give us a very credible point there, fighting back from 2-0 down to claim a draw. So on the run off camera in the Premier League right now, there are 10 games to go. We're still in a Europa League spot. We're in 6th place right now. We've got a game in hand on Leeds that are just below us in the table. Same with Leicester as well. I can't see anyone from 10th below catching up now. And as I mentioned before, earlier on in the season, I identified like the top 9 getting some separation between the rest of the teams in the division. That has now happened as we expected. And we're 8 points off the Red Devils in 4th. Don't realistically think we can catch them, to be honest. So I'm not really thinking about 4th place right now. But 3 points clear of Chelsea in 8th place, 2 clear of Leeds in 7th as well. Obviously, the board want Europa League football, but I'd take 7th. And as for now, we're on course to do it. But, it's the business end of the season. You know one of my favourite sayings, pressure makes diamonds or bursts pipes. And it is pretty nervy with the teams below us right now catching up and breathing down our shoulders. So just as well in the run of camera, I want to show you real briefly our finances going down once again. We have had a youth intake, by the way, for the new season. Now, if you have been on my channel for a while, you know we don't really get too many good youth players from the youth intake. There is one that looks pretty decent. We haven't given them pro deals yet, but this guy looks okay. John Bishop as a central midfielder, possibly. Could be alright in the future, but don't get your hopes up too much. Ultimately, there's not too many players I'm very excited about. This guy could be alright with the mental stats, but again, I don't normally get too many good players from a youth intake, so that seems like that'll be the case this season and in this series as well. So heading into the game, this will be our teams we face the Championship side in the FA Cup quarter final. On the injury report right now, just one player down. Pedro Neto went down against Spurs. Not a serious injury though, so he'll be coming back not before long. And this is our team 4-2-3-1, and I'm picking a really strong lineup, taking no chances whatsoever against Stoke. And we do have the international break coming directly afterwards as well. So Patricia's a goal. Back four is like Nuri, Bolly, Cody and Semedo, with Neves and Forsby through the middle. Traore and Trincaldi inside forwards, and Moutinho sporting Raul Jimenez up top. On the bench, Ruddy, Kilman, Johnny, Connor Roberts, Dendonka gives White, Podence, Jose and Silva as well. First to 2 and a chance to reach Wembley in Season 1. Don't boil it. Come on, Wolves. Yeah, massive favourites, firm favourites. Mentioned before, Stoke right now are in the bottom half of the Championship. We've been in great form in the Premier League. For most of the season, particularly back in January time. And Adama Traore, who's been one of our players, if not our player of the season, should have made it 1-0, 30 seconds in. That's what you want to see. Good pressure already applied on the underdogs here. 18 minutes in, Traore going for goal, puts it wide. Very good start though. I love it when you start off fast in a game where you're favourites as well. You put the pressure on right from the first whistle and you say to the weaker team, look, this is why we're favourites, man. You know, put them under immense pressure straight away as Neves fires over. Don't give them like a breather. Don't give them like an easy start to compose themselves. Make them nervous from the first whistle. Norrington Davis has been tackled by Morton Forsby. Everything this guy does, I'm so happy. He has been, and I mentioned before, not a novelty. Like, he's not a novelty at all. He's held down a first team spot and on merit as well. I love it. And you know why? Those 3 mental attributes that are maxed out at 20 as Forsby rolls it through to Semedo, plays a 1-2 with the Portuguese right back, and now finds Ruben Neves infield. That's a great little slip ball to thread the needle. And now Semedo coming through, shoots a retired angle and gives us the lead. Wolves 1, Stoke 0. There's the breakthrough. I'm going to lie, I'm just as nervous about this game as I am for the one against Everton. Rabbi Matondo denied by a brilliant recovery from Willy Bolly. Makes the initial error, but then gets back into play with the LeBron James-esque chase down block. Fair play to Bolly, man. That was poor, and then he redeems himself with a goal-saving block. But Stoke now going to grab a little bit of confidence and momentum. Patricio makes the save, still 1-0. I see that quite often in FM, as well as like Nuri finds Jimenez, who tries to lob Angus Gunn but gets back on his line pretty quickly. Players mistiming their jump and misreading the flight of the ball. It's actually very common. It's very rare in real football that a player of, you know, Premier League quality would mistime his jump so poorly for a free header. But in FM, it can actually be pretty common. Anyway, still leading by 1. Cracking first half, but should be 2 or 3 up, really. If it's still 1-0 around the hour mark, I think I'll change my mentality to attacking and then also up the tempo as well. Try and get a couple more chances and put this game to bed as Neves finds Jimenez, who heads just wide. Getting the opportunities, just not taking them. Story of our season, really. Neves to Semedo, down the right hand side, connected for the first goal. Can they help link up for the second? Oh, should have done. Trincao blocked by Collins, and still we only lead by 1. This game should be done by now. It's not even an hour in. Right, let's do it. Let's change our mentality to attacking. I prefer positive to attacking anyway, really, but even so, we'll be a bit more direct in our passing, much higher tempo, run at defence, try and make them feel nervy with the pace we've got, and that'll do it for now. In reasonable control, but as I always say, when you're leading by 1, I never feel overly confident. Come on, that's yours, Bolly. Oh, my, not again. Seriously, what is this guy doing? Maybe you heard a shout from Connor Cody. Let's assume that was why he left that ball there. But Traore finds Trincao. Come on, 1 extra goal. That's all we need here as Francisco pops it back out wide to the goal scorer, Semedo. And there it is. There it is. Finally, took a while. 20 minutes to go, but that'll do it now. Jimenez heads home. 2-0 Wolves. We're through to the semis. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Well, there's the third. That's the game. Goodness gracious me, that's not the first time I've seen this in this year's FM. Angus Gunn just boots the ball against Raul Jimenez's chest, thunders off his mighty pecs, and into the open goal. Alright, yep, fair enough. Okay, sometimes FM, it's just... it's a bit silly. 3-0, that will do it, into the FA Cup semi-final. I'm very pleased with the result and your performance. Everyone is happy with the team talk. And there it is. Wolves are in to the FA Cup semi-final. Felt very confident indeed. It took a little while to get going, but once we did, I felt we were in complete control for the most part. So what we'll do is we'll do the draw for the FA Cup semi-final. But the question is, when is that? All the games have been played. Newcastle are through, Leeds are through, and Chelsea are through. Wow, Liverpool and the Red Devils getting knocked out this weekend. So the draw is tomorrow. So we'll process through to that and we'll see who we've got in the semi-final. I've got to say, if we can avoid the Reds, then I think we're favourites to reach the FA Cup final. Chelsea even. It was Liverpool gone out. Chelsea. If we can avoid Chelsea, I think we'll be favourites here. Leeds have been good this year too. And that is who we've got. They're just below us in the table right now. So it'll be Newcastle versus Chelsea in the other semi-final tie. So Leeds right now, again, they're in 7th in the Premier League. They've been one of the informed teams this year, if not what you'd call a surprise package, being a newly promoted side. I tell you what, that's going to be a very even contest there against Bielsa's side. That's going to be tight. We have beaten Leeds, back-to-back this year, by the way. We beat them at Ellen Road for our first win in the Premier League, and then we beat them 3-0 at home at Molineux as well. So, you'd say, based on the fact we're above them in the table, we've beaten them back-to-back this year, we'd probably again be slight favourites. But playing at Wembley, cup football, anything can happen. But I tell you what, if we could go to the FA Cup final in Season 1 and possibly win it as well, well, definitely for sure. Even if we miss out on a top 7 place, we'll qualify for European football. That would be a great first season if we can pull that off. Long way to go though. So moving on, massive game here. Everton away, Goodison Park in a 5th versus 6th battle in the race for Europa League spot. I'll get in. Spurs just held Chelsea to a 1-1 draw in the early kickoff. So here we go, 3 points behind the Toffees, worst goal difference record, 2 points clear of both Chelsea and Leeds. We have games in hand on both, same with Leicester as we're 4 points clear. It's so tight right now in the race for a European spot. Can we hold on? Well, win this game, we'll have a brilliant chance. So no changes to our lineup or tactics on the back of the win against Stoke. A couple of players went down in international duty, by the way, including Pedro Neto of pulled knee ligaments, and this will be our team once more. Say it with me. Patricio in goal, back four right, Nuri, Bolly, Cody and Semedo, and Neves and Forsby through the middle, getting that link. Traore down the left, Trincao down the right, and Moutinho supporting Raul. Jimenez on the bench, Ruddy, Kilman, Johnny, Roberts, then Donker. Gibbs will have a slight knock, Pedence, Jose, and Fabio Silva as well. I don't like having players with knocks in my team. This will be our game. It's Everton away at Goodison Park. Come on, Wolves. Big game here. I think, one thing I will say to FM as well is that I actually don't mind the way they now have it with the conditioning no longer showing you a percentage, but just a general rough idea of how the boys are feeling when they're out there. Now that's something which I remember when FM first made that change for this year, as Ducore gives the Toffees an early lead 10 minutes in. When the change was made, a lot of people were reluctant to not necessarily accept it, but sort of agree it was the right thing to do. But actually, to be fair, I think it's more realistic. And I think just having a rough idea compared to knowing literally 100% exactly how a player's condition physically is out there is probably a bit better. It's less, again, accurate by default, because you no longer have a number. It's just the player's heart, and whether it's light green or lime green or whatever, yellow and so on. But I think it's better that way. I must say that's one change which it makes the game a bit different, but I kind of prefer it in a weird way. I think it's just because most FM players, myself included, if a player was sub 90, and we're just talking 89%, 1%, then the player doesn't start. Like, you might have them on the bench, but the player would never start. It was always 90 as a bare minimum. The difference between 89 and 90, that 1% was the difference, whether a player was in the starting 11 or not. So having, again, just the condition showed in the heart, as, oh, what a lucky goal, we'll take it. I think is better that way. As Jimenez makes it 1-1, but what a fortunate goal. Point here, not a bad result at all. We've got a better goal difference record than both Chelsea and Leeds, and we'll go 3 points clearer than both with 9 games to go. So destiny will firmly be in our own hands at this point. And as half-time comes, I think based on the stats, we've looked a better team. There's a genuine chance we can go and win this in the second half. 7 minutes after the restart. I see there being a winner in this game as well. I do think someone's going to claim all 3 points as Alex Iwobi goes on a brilliant run. Patricio shovels it behind. Still 1-1. Whoever wins is going to be feeling elated, because that'll give them a great chance at wrapping up European football. As Calvert-Lewin hits the bar, but whoever loses is going to be looking very nervously over their shoulders with the chasing pack right behind. This is a huge 35 minutes. Final few minutes. Lucas Digne. Oh, Patricio. Jeez. So often that happens in FM. The goalkeeper sort of gets so slowly across his line, but just about does enough to keep it out. Oh, look at how close that was. Well, we're into the final 30 seconds of stoppage time. I think that he's going to do it as Forsby. I think that's a, yeah. Do you know what, Morton? It's all good, son. It's all good, don't worry about it. Why would you do that? I don't understand. He doesn't have the dive on feet player trait. Does not dive into tackles. He's got 12 aggression. Why would you do that? Well, hopefully we'll be okay as Willian Jose plays ball-winning midfielder for the final few seconds. I don't think it's going to matter now. That should do it. But even so, Forsby, what were you doing? Don't understand this man. I really don't. I mean, I love him to pieces, but I really don't understand him. Second time he's got a red card this season. The first one was for 2 yellows, but that was just needless. I mean, it's the 94th minute. The referee has literally got his whistle in his mouth, and he thinks, yeah, just going to scythe down Richarlison 2-foot from behind. Why not? I'm going to fine him half a week's wages for that. I mean, I'm in his favoured personnel now, by the way. Unsurprisingly, I've been praising him for his training every single week, but why would you do that? He's been so good this year as well, but brain dead at times, man. Unbelievable. But that was this episode of the FM Save, guys. So big thank you for watching. Imagine if I appealed that. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you hadn't, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and we will indeed return with the FA Cup semi-final, Leeds at Wembley, and a chance to reach our first domestic cup final in the FM21 year, and then Man City at home in a big battle in the Premier League as well. Have a great day, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of the FM Save, the biggest one so far, very soon.